Hello, welcome into the podcast. So today I'm just going to do a live here, on camera. So we're going to start by reading from the Christ letters, as we sometimes do. And I'm on page 95 if you happen to have this book. So up to this time, some of you have had faith in Jesus Christ, but you've been like precocious children. Your faith has been partially blind and accepting, yet interwoven with much doubt. Therefore, whatever you needed to be done for you, you depended on Jesus for the work to be accomplished. Whereas, in fact, much of what you believe you have derived directly from Jesus has been your own faith in Jesus, made visible in the form of things asked for. So it's not like we're like, hey, dude, go do this for me, and he goes and he does it for you. No, it is your faith, your belief that he will do it for you. That's what's really accomplishing it. So while this childlike faith is very important to your well-being, those of you who are capable of moving onward on the spiritual path to perfection must now reach a deeper level of true knowledge on the relation between mind and matter. Without this foundation, people will continue to flounder in religious myths and will be locked into the misery of the human condition. So when I was on earth, I spoke the truth to the people, but I was continually misinterpreted. What I really said regarding faith was this. You see, this great big tree, it has grown out of the tiniest seed imaginable. See the vast trunk and branches and foliage? All that enormous growth has come out of a small seed. How did such a thing come about? From whence came all the wood and the tree and the foliage which adorns it? Is it not as much a miracle as the miracles that I perform for you day after day? Is not the growth of this tree as much the work of the Father as healing, which takes place in sick people? I ask you, what is a seed? Can you tell me? No, you cannot, but I will tell you. It is a tiny entity of consciousness knowledge. It is the consciousness knowledge of what it will become. It is a fragment of consciousness drawn from the divine creative consciousness. It is a fragment of mind power, drawn from the Father mind power, which, when planted in the earth and watered by the rain, will begin to clothe itself in visible matter, of which it possesses knowledge deep within itself. The knowledge is true, and it is firm, and it is strong and undeviating. The self-knowledge embodied in the seed is a conviction in consciousness. Okay, this is like the most powerful statement out of this whole thing, because it is telling you that this seed knows itself so very well that it becomes what it's meant to be. And so if you could know something so very well, it would become visible. It would turn into actual matter. All of life forms arise out of this one-pointed self-knowledge, a conviction in consciousness. This conviction in consciousness is what separates the inanimate soil and rocks from all that lives and grows upon the face of the earth. Where there's no conviction of consciousness or knowledge of identity, there's no growth. The consciousness within soil and rocks remains consciousness in a dormant form. Therefore, if you could believe in what you ask for as powerfully as a mustard seed knows its own identity, you would be able to do anything that you wanted to do. It's basically saying that if the mustard seed doubted itself, like if he was like all of a sudden he's a seed and he's like, I don't know if I'm a seed or not, he wouldn't grow. He wouldn't turn into the mustard plant. And it's saying if you could know without a doubt essentially anything, you could be given anything. If you could carry within your mind a seed, the perfected plan of your most heartfelt goals, and know beyond all doubt that it can grow and come into perfect fruition, you would see this wonderful seed take on a life of its own, which would presently manifest in your life. And you could surely move the mountains in your lives, those mountains which stand across your path and prevent you from achieving all that you would like. Mountains which, in times of recklessness and evil thinking, have been created by yourselves. If only you understood creation and existence, you would be able to live lives of total freedom, limitless achievement, and transcendent joy. Seek to understand, and you will find that little by little, understanding will come to you. Knock in the door of the universe, giving access to God, the universal Father consciousness, and eventually you will find the door swinging wide open and you will have entrance to the secrets of the world. Only believe and you will receive. I also reminded them at all times, only those with pure minds and hearts will accomplish these mighty things. The wicked might flourish for a little while, as have kings and marauding armies and other hoarding inequities in their minds, but they have been permitted to do their work for a while, since certain good would arise out of evil. But eventually they fail and their names are reviled by the rest of the world. Therefore, as many of you as would succeed, examine your motivations. Desires born solely of flesh, longing for wealth or comfort, eventually end in disappointment, sickness, and death. So when we're wanting something and we're like, oh, I want to do this, it's going to make me so much money, I got to do the thing. But we're not doing it out of a place of, this is what I am, this is what I must do for the world, this is the thing that I'm supposed to do. It's not going to end. It's going to end, but it's not going to end well. It's not going to end how you would like it to be. So if you were to examine your life and see where there is not faith, where are you lacking faith? And if you were to really go into that and you were to really examine what that's all about, you could get rid of it. And little by little, as you do this little by little, you get rid of these things. So I know it can seem extremely overwhelming when you're starting on the path and you're like, oh, I'm just starting out. Or maybe you've been into it for years and you're like, I'm still not there yet. Well, you're never going to get there if you give up. But what you're doing is doing the little bits all the time. And those little bits are not little bits. They're huge. And you know that they're huge because you can see yourself changing and you can see the people around you that aren't doing those little bits. They're not changing and you're outgrowing the people that you've surrounded yourself with. And as this is happening, you're noticing probably that new people are coming in to your experience, and it's these people that are coming in now, they're vibing the same as you, just like the people before were vibing the same as you back then, but you have shifted and you've transitioned and you've grown because you're beginning to know who it is that you truly are. If you could actually see yourself like I see yourself, like all that you are is this bright shining light. That's all that you are. And everything that is not that has come from the clouds of your own mind, of your own thinking, of the things that you believe, of the things that you don't believe, of the feelings that you hold within yourself, like beliefs of unworthiness or not having any value or things like this. And they play out in your life and they turn into visible matter, just like a seed turns into visible matter. So I know I've told you guys this story before, but if you're new here, you'll think this is cool. So when I was up in my cabin, I was like in this enlightenment that lasted, like such a long time. And so like I'm like however many days into this thing, and I would always go and walk on this like one particular path. And this is like way northern Canada. So there's like blueberries and things that grow up there. And so anyways, I'm walking on this path, and every day that I would go and I would walk down this path and I'm taking the dog for a walk, I would reach into my invisible pocket and I would throw out my invisible seeds. So keep in mind, these were not actual seeds that you could hold in your hand. But as I'm walking on the path and I'm, throwing them on the path, every day I was like, oh man, there's going to be so many blueberries here. It's going to be crazy. It's going to be so crazy. There's going to be so many blueberries on this path. And I would always do it when I was walking around this little bend. And so then I go up and there's not really anybody up there, but there's the dude that works at the store, great dude. And so I go to the dude and I was like, dude, there's gonna be so many blueberries here this year. He's the only person I talked to. He's the only person that I said this to. Anyway, so I leave and I come back several months later and the entire path is blue. It's freaking blue. This whole entire bend exactly where I was doing this. So I came to realize upon this that we don't actually even need a real seed. It is only the mind. It is only the mind. It was like I needed to be shown this so that I could understand what he was talking about with the seed. It's like, well, of course, the seed knows the thing. And it's like, no, the seed does know the thing, but it was created by mind. It was put here by mind. And so if you could harness your minds, if you could truly just harness your mind in this extremely powerful way where you just knew without a doubt, here's the first part that you could do. You could just know that things are happening for you. And if you can even shift your belief into that and just know that every single little tiny every little detail of every little baby thing is actually happening for you, then things will start to shift in your world, because you're going to start to have a different attitude towards the things that come into your life that present themselves to you. You're going to feel different about them. And because you feel different, it's like you're dropping a different vibration into the ocean that's spreading out, and it's bringing you back in the things that match that new vibration. So if you're like, this is happening to me, and you drop that in, what does that ripple look like? And then how does that come back to you? And if you're like, I know that this is happening for me, drop that in. What does that ripple look like? How does that come back to you? Just something, a tiny little thought difference, because everything is mind, everything is thought. A tiny little thought difference can make a huge difference in what it is that you receive in your life, because of truly how you're interpreting what's coming in. And because you're interpreting it differently, now different things are actually going to come in for you to interpret. So what has to happen to get to a point where you actually don't have any doubt anymore, and it sounds so simple, is that you just really have to heal. You have to heal yourself and the things within you, and you have to understand that everything is made of love. So look out and look around you. Okay, and so as you're seeing all the things that you're seeing around you, everything is made of tiny little energetic particles. And so they are vibrating at a high rate of speed, most of them, I assume, and they're made of light. They're made of vibration, and they're made of light. And if you were to take like a magnifying glass, not a magnifying glass, if you were to take whatever you call those things you look through, my brain's having a thing right now. If you were to look at that and you were to look at it really closely, you could see everything, including yourself, is made of that. It is just made of light and vibration. Now, the thing about this is, all of these things that you are seeing that are just light and vibration are charged with mind power. And what it is that you think is what goes out and imbues those and brings them to life. So all this empty space that you see all around you, right? Scientists call it space because they don't know what it is. All it is it is equilibrium. It is divine masculine, divine feminine equilibrium sitting there waiting for you to imbue it. So it is perfection. It is the perfection of creation. And it just sits there, and it looks like nothing. Can't see it yet. And it's just waiting for you to think a thought, and for you to speak some words, and for you to charge it up and imbue it with what you want it to have. This is why, people say affirmations and they do things like this, and it actually changes their life, because what they're doing is they're charging up all of this space that is all around them, and they're telling it how to behave and what to do, and it's following suit. It's listening. So you can do this to yourself, and your body will respond. Right? Like when I would work with clients, and I'm doing, let's say we're doing weight loss or something like this, and you have this belief that, when I eat this, it makes me fat. Okay, well, if you believe that, when you eat it, it's going to make you fat. But if you believe, like, no, this is actually really good for me, it's nourishing my body, and it's think of how different that feels. And then you can eat that, and if there's no guilt that's attached, and there's only a feeling of course this is good for me, then it is actually good for you, and you could be eating doesn't matter what it is. Doesn't matter if it's considered even junk food. Your mind can override anything that is in front of you. And the only reason why junk food is so bad for you is because it's junk, right? We call it junk. We've labeled it that. We eat it. And when we're eating it, we're thinking, I'm eating junk food. So what does junk do to your body? But what is it going to do to your body eating the exact same thing when you don't believe it's junk? When you believe that this is actually good? It's going to go in, it's going to charge up those tiny little particles in there, and it's going to go in your body, and it's actually going to be good for you. This is how extreme it is. This is actually how it works. This is why when, you could be in the same room as somebody. Let's say you go out with your friend, and you encounter someone on the street, and they're like, that person was so rude. And you're like, what? Oh, I didn't think that at all. I thought that person was like super friendly. I don't even know what you're talking about. Oh yeah, no, they were rude. They something, blah, 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 blah. And you're like, okay, I didn't experience that at all. How does this happen? How is that even possible? It happens because of what you've got going on in here versus what they've got going on in here. It literally colors your world differently. It actually makes your world look differently, which is also a reason why sometimes people have huge communication issues, right? It's like, I didn't say that. I wasn't saying that. Why did you think that? Or you misinterpret, I didn't know that's what you meant. I didn't get that. Why? Because this is playing a factor into it. And so it's coloring their words with whatever it is that you believe is going to be coming out of their mouth based on what it is that you hold within yourself. So the way to get rid of all this doubt is to, first of all, cleanse your mind. Get rid of all the things that are not love. And I know that this sounds like quite the task, and it is. But when you do it, and you just do a little bit every day, all you got to do is a little bit every day. You don't got to do the full thing today. I mean, you don't. You just do it little bit by little bit. And so as you go in and you examine and you find like, okay, this is the thing. This is the next thing I need to get rid of. This is the next thing I'm judging. I'm criticizing. I'm whatever. Just focus on the things that it is that you've been doing. And then when you notice those things, stop doing them. Be like, oh, wow, I actually, have been doing this. And when you become aware of that, then you can change it. Then you can do something different. And then you can say, okay, well, I'm not going to focus on criticisms anymore because those aren't helping anyone and they're making me look really ugly. So I'm going to stop criticizing other people because I know that it's actually about myself, and that all that I'm doing, what I'm spreading, what I'm criticizing is making me look like the vibration that I believe that criticism is in. So if I'm saying, oh, this person, they're this and they're that and whatever, and they're giving me this vibe, all that's happening is the person who you're telling that story to is receiving that vibe from you because it's actually about you. So when you really deeply understand this, first of all, you're like, oh, I don't want to do that anymore. And so then you stop doing that. That's the best thing that you could possibly do. Second of all, it's going to make you look inward and think like, why would I judge that? Why would I say that? Well, it's because you're judging yourself. It's because you have unhealed things within yourself. That's the reason why. That's why you do this. And so, what is this telling you? Well, this is telling you, man, I need to stop judging myself. Okay, how am I going to heal that? Well, first of all, you need to find all the judgments that you've been making. So go in, figure it out, make a list. Okay, I judge myself because of this. I judge myself because of that. And make the list. And then sit with your list, and then meditate, and then pray, and then ask for guidance, and then ask for these things to be cleared from you, but to gain the awareness of why they have been present in the first place first. What was it that you needed to learn from it first? Because you don't want to just let something go and not learn the lesson from it, because then it's going to come back again so that you can learn the lesson from it. So the best thing that you can do is focus on only the self. Get rid of the external. It's not about them, it's not about this, it's not about that. All the distractions that you're getting from other people, just shut them off for a while. Go inward, take a couple days completely by yourself. Don't answer the phone, don't do any of the things. Just take your break. And as you're doing this, go in and do the work on yourself. And it's gonna seem freaking endless, man. But it does end eventually. And when you have a goal of like, okay, well, I'm doing this because I want to gain freaking enlightenment while I'm here in this life. Okay, if that's your goal, you are going to achieve it. It is going to happen for you. And I'm telling you this, it's going to happen for you if that's what you want. Because in order to get to that, you're going to have to spend some time focusing on it. You're going to have to give your time to the divine, as much time as you can devote to it. When you really, so I'm just thinking of this, when I used to go to the gym, I taught exercise classes for like 20 years, and I was pretty obsessed with just getting exercise. Like, I really like to move. And so even when I wasn't at the gym, when I first started going, I would think about it. I'd be driving in my car and I'd be like, oh, I'd rather be working out right now. And I would be thinking about the workouts that I would be doing. And I would maybe even be flexing my body or doing whatever it was while I was, driving, while I was going somewhere, because I was just obsessed with the feeling, the energetic feeling that I got from it. You can do this with the divine. You can become so obsessed that everything that you look at is colored with the beauty of the divine. That throughout your day, you couldn't possibly go a day without thinking about that connection, because you were just so pulled, you just need it, you just want it in your life so bad because of what it does for you and what it does for other people and how magical and amazing that it really is. But when you can focus on yourself and the work that needs to be done, and you can identify, okay, I've been doing all of these things, and you can just start to get rid of them one by one. First of all, by identification. If you don't know it's there, you're not going to do anything about it. Pretty soon, you'll get to the point where you're like, I think I'm done. Like, I don't think I have anything else. And you'll have this like beautiful, joyful high that lasts for however long, years, weeks, months, and then something's gonna come back in and it's gonna say, hey dude, we can go even deeper. And you're like, really? Great. And then you're gonna go and you're gonna do that too, and it's gonna elevate you even more. And it's just a spiritual process, but it doesn't end. But there are goals that are met, and it's more than worth it. It is more than worth it. The whole entire journey is worth it. So when we talk about the mustard seed, but the actual seed, you are the perfected essence of the divine. You're perfected. But through all the things that your mind thinks and believes and has believed in, and all of the things, it clouds over all of the gifts that want to flow into you. Positive things, excellent. Open wide up. Let it pour in. Negative things, oh, it's like you got an umbrella and the things can't come. They can't actually get to you. So here's the test. You'll know the truth, and the truth will set you free. I know I say this all the time, but it's because it's true. You'll know the truth, and the truth will set you free. So if you think something, you believe something, and it doesn't feel like freedom, it's not true. So you need to stop believing it. You need to stop speaking about it. You need to stop telling other people about it. You need to stop focusing on it. You need to get rid of it out of your life, because why would you want to have something in your life that's not true? And then you replace these things with the truth, which is that everything is made of love. Everything is mind. And when the mind is filled with only love, it will receive only love back, because it only believes in the love. And therefore, it's the only thing that can come back. It's literally the laws of the universe. It's the only thing that can come to you. So just go in your life and find the places, first of all, where you haven't loved yourself, because everything's about you. So if you're experiencing something in your outer world that doesn't look like love, it's because inner work needs to be done. It's because there's some part of you that you don't love. There's some part of you that still needs healing. There's some part of you that still needs acceptance. And once you heal this and once you whatever, well, then all of a sudden the thing that was a thing is not a thing anymore, because it's just not there, because it's not here. Because everything, as I said, is an internal reflection. The world's not even real, man. I know that's hard to understand. It's not even actually real, but because we believe it's real, we believe we're here. I believe I can touch this desk. I believe I can do that, then I can do it. Anyways, this is what I have for you guys here today. And I just want to tell you, I'm drinking the most absolutely delicious tea. This is from the mountains of Greece. And the people who live in this little town live to be like 120 or something like this. Anyways, it's super good tea. If you want to know more about it, you can ask me in the comments below. I don't sell it or anything. It's just my daughter works in the shop and they sell it there. And it's really fabulous. But I don't actually remember the name right now, or I'd tell it to you. Anyways, thank you guys for tuning in. And I will see you guys in the next one. Take care.